Welcome back, Veterans Claims Ambush. We're in the claim form. We have gone through the small print, the blinders that are put on VBA employees, the things that they can't possibly understand, even though they're going to adjudicate your claim. You are in litigation with them before you were injured. This system was set up with the kind of philosophical thinking, the logic, of about 1900 through 1920. The system was set up before you were born. Now, we're at the claim fill in the blank part. I want to show you, once again, we are at 21-526EZ. It's easy, isn't it? Did they tell you to go research your disease or injury on Google and submit peer-reviewed medical journal articles to them? No, I didn't see that. And did they tell you that they are incompetent to understand what's in those articles? No, I didn't see that. There's a technique in lawsuits known as saturation. Saturation is where in discovery you can flood people with paper. One of the most famous ones was a case brought against IBM, the great computer manufacturer, for antitrust. The US government demanded discovery of every document related to. And so, IBM, being a good citizen, delivered train car loads of documents. Nothing to hide. And after all, you asked for every one of them. Train car loads of documents. What do you think happened at the Department of Justice when somebody was told to do that? All right. So you were hit with 8 pages of small print. This is page 9. See this? Page 9 of the application for a claim. Name, rank, serial number, where are you? There are 2 things that will be here that they don't have. They don't have your telephone number, and they don't have your email address. If you give them your name and your social security number, they can get all your military records. They can get all your military medical records, if they want. If you want to send them civilian medical records, you should. All of them. This is not to flood them. You are not IBM. What you are going to do is you are going to make sure that when you fill this out, you are going to attach to it a record, and you will keep a copy of that record, which they may or may not read because they don't feel like it. I'm going to show you how that works. Or they are incompetent to read it and understand it, therefore why bother? So you understand, when we go through this, you've gone through pages of small print. Now you get to this and you say, oh, well, I can handle this because this is it's like applying for a driver's license. No, it's not. You give them your name, address, email, phone number. Whoa, you got a big decision here. Do you want a fully developed claim program? Remember, if you don't do that, if you get into a standard, ordinary claim, you're the one dragging out the proceeding. Remember, FDC is fast, standard claim procedure, here is slower. You're the problem. Supposing you have 150 pages of medical journal articles that you attach to this particular claim. You have exhaustive medical records, you attach them. That's another 150 or 200 pages. You have statements from other people that, yes, he can't walk, his knees are terrible, he's fallen down, etc., etc. And the whole package comes out to 150 pages plus 200 pages, we're up to 350, plus another 50 pages of lay statements, plus you're writing about your symptoms. We may be close to 500 pages. They can't read and understand the medical stuff. They really can't read and understand the terms of art used in your medical reports without looking them up. I'll give you an example. Do you right now know the difference between a hemorrhagic stroke and an ischemic stroke? Well, you may not know any difference. Why should you? Do you know what a neurologist means when they say that this ischemic stroke was caused, we don't know, it was emetic? Do you know what that means? Well, why should you? These are terms of art. Do you think VBA people know what they are? Do you think they research it? But you have. But they can't read the articles and understand them. They don't have to. Denied. So, do you understand what's happening here? Okay. Name, rank, serial number. Where do you want things sent? What is your address? Okay. They led you up to this, and now this looks familiar. And they started you off with a major league decision that you may not have been prepared to make. Oh, and by the way, they may not know what an emetic stroke is. They may not be able to read an article about biology, chemistry, and physics for the burn patient. They know exactly what this is, and you don't. And you see this? Harvard Medical School, NIH, they don't know what this is. They spend their time on other important things. VBA knows exactly what this is. Here's your SOCH. See? They know. They know. Many vets are, we don't know how many, living without housing. I applaud the VA for trying to address this. I don't know how to fix that problem. Much more intelligent people than I in Congress, in the executive branch, the courts, in state legislatures are trying to deal with this problem, and nobody is coming up with solutions. But people are trying. So this is about, are you homeless? This exposure information, we are on page 10 of a simple form. It's easy. This is about the exposures. Gulf War. Okay? Toxic exposures. What kind of exposures? Oh, there's the Camp Lejeune one. You may have seen that in television ads, internet ads. They reopened the statute of limitations. How do you know what you were exposed to? I shall give you an example. When I heard about the PACT Act, and the Camp Lejeune materials. Now, I'm not your lawyer. I am not giving you legal advice, but I'm going to tell you as a retired lawyer with a lot of litigation experience, that caught my attention. And I said, out of curiosity. I will look up every base I was PCS at. I also bounced around TDY a lot. I was a judge advocate and I tried cases. You saw my little CV in the first episode. So, I looked up the bases I was PCS at, Air Force. And at every one, I was, if I drank water or used it to wash after exercise, I was drinking a cocktail made in part from jet fuel, a little benzene thrown in for flavor, and some firefighting foam chemicals, PFOAs, etc. I had no idea. I finished active duty in, it would have been June of 1981 or the end of May 1981. None of what you see here discusses that. That's fine. If the PACT Act had not been passed, VA would have said no, denied for all of these listed claims. Congress had to basically pass a law that said, okay, we got it. Statistics, mathematical, statistical, okay? These things don't lie. People were exposed to wild stuff, and they are suffering from it. But I found out that every Air Force base I was at, not under the PACT Act, was polluted. I read the EPA Superfund reports. One of the funny ones, I was stationed at Kelly Air Force Base in San Antonio. That was a PCS base. So they decided to close the base for economic reasons. It's a beautiful base. It was absolutely beautiful. Fixed big airplanes and some other stuff that's still national security. But it fixed C-5s and things like that. I mean, big stuff. A lot of civilian employees. So the Air Force decided we don't need this base. We'll move it up to, I think it was Utah, Hill Air Force Base. And they said we will give the base to the city of San Antonio. And the city of San Antonio said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're not taking this. And the EPA had to come in and spend millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to clean up the area, including gobbling up whole parts of it and shipping it off. And guess what they found? Now, San Antonio took its water from wells. And the water tasted fine. Had a beautiful swimming pool. There weren't many military stationed there as compared to the civilian workforce, who did excellent work maintaining the air fleet. And San Antonio wouldn't take it. It looked like, I mean, it was beautiful. And what you couldn't see was poison. And EPA had to come in. I was later stationed at Pease Air Force Base up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. It was a SAC base, nuclear fleet. Closed the base, wanted to give it to the city of Portsmouth. Wait a minute. And the EPA had to come in, and guess what they found? Understand something about what goes on. The mission comes first, and it has to. The world is full of really bad people. Really, really bad. The mission comes first, you don't come second. You're down the list somewhere. It's not about you, it's about the mission. If you don't accept that, don't either join or don't stay on active service. It is about Valley Forge. It is about the mission. That's not what happens on an oil rig. On an oil rig, the purpose is to make money, but OSHA rules apply. And if you get hurt on an oil rig due to foreseeable negligence, you can sue everybody and people may get locked up. The military mission is completely different. The mission counts. People will get killed in peacetime, wartime. The mission comes first. People are always being seriously injured in the military because the mission comes first. They don't mean that you get injured. Nobody means for you as an individual to be KIA or in peacetime to be killed in operations. But it happens. The mission comes first. The person deciding your claim is a civilian employee of the United States government. They do not have that mission. They may have been in the military, they're not anymore. Okay? We'll pick this up in the next video. Subscribe. Pass this stuff on. Tell people who are thinking of joining the military to listen to this. The Valley Forge spirit is alive and well. And it is an endowment. It makes you a better person. I can't encourage people enough to consider that. If you are disabled as a result of your military service, you're in the ambush. It wasn't set up as part of the mission. The ambush has been set up afterward. I can't do any more than this today, and we're going to pick up right here next time.